friends, it's me, Alex. And since yesterday was Bitcoin's birthday, I thought I would take a moment to explain what Bitcoin is, why it's so important, where it was 12 years ago when the original white paper was released, and how far it's come, and where it is today. So the white paper for Bitcoin was originally released on October 31st of 2008. So it's important to get some context, and in 2008, the world economy was just recovering from the financial crisis that was caused by a housing bubble in the United States. This really shook a lot of people's trust in the system and the current financial monetary policies and institutions that were in place at the time. And so a lot of efforts were being made to study, research, and develop types of peer-to-peer financial transactions so that there would not be a need for those big financial institutions that people just didn't trust anymore. So basically it was kind of in reaction to traditional financial institutions and the crisis that they caused our economy. So the idea for Bitcoin was a peer-to-peer digital currency network that doesn't rely on any intermediary systems like those financial institutions. This way you could pay someone who's a friend of yours directly without having to use a credit card that would go through some sort of transaction that is registered through the company. It's kind of like cash, but digitally, so you can take it anywhere and you can instantly have access to all of your funds. So to bring this idea to fruition, they proposed an entirely open source solution on a public ledger, so everyone can see all the transactions that are happening and no one can really fudge the numbers. Originally, everyone was supposed to be able to mine Bitcoin on their everyday devices, like your computer when you're not using it, your cell phone when you're not using it, maybe your laptop. But over time, Bitcoin mining became more and more processor intensive and required more and more energy. So now it's mostly handled by people who purchase devices that are specifically designed for Bitcoin mining. This is because the graphics requirements and other things have just gotten so expensive that most people's everyday devices can't turn a profit, and so mining has been turned over more to these other entities. So what is mining? Mining is basically the system in which you confirm the transactions that people are making. So the idea is if someone tries to pay you and then they try to pay someone else with that same money they already paid, this blockchain that is confirmed by all of the users can verify your transactions so that you can't double pay or use the same money twice. In order to incentivize contributing to the processing power of this blockchain, they will reward you with blocks and Bitcoin, which is what mining is fundamentally. So let's talk about the timeline. Bitcoin was originally launched in May 2008, but it wasn't until 2010 that it was actually used for a purchase. Someone posted online that they were willing to spend 10,000 Bitcoin for a pizza, which is kind of funny now when you think about it at how much that's worth in US dollars. But at the time, Bitcoin was not worth very much and wasn't seen as a viable way to transfer value or make any sort of transactions or purchases like this. Then later, in 2011, Bitcoin reached a $1 valuation and was more seen as a serious currency that people could start transacting with. So already you're starting to see how expensive that 10,000 Bitcoin pizza was. And now fast forward to today, Bitcoin reached all-time highs in 2017 at 20,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. So that's some really expensive pizza now. Now, in 2020, $10.2 billion of US publicly traded company treasury value is stored in Bitcoin. Now the market cap of Bitcoin is over $255 billion. Bitcoin has a 24-hour trading volume of over $20 billion. That means in 24 hours of any average 24-hour span of time over the past week, say, $20 billion in funds have been transferred through Bitcoin on any given day. So in recent months, a lot of corporate treasuries and public companies and banks and international institutions have been investing in Bitcoin and making it more and more of a viable product. So if you're interested in buying Bitcoin, it's actually pretty easy now. You used to have to find someone who was a miner and mined the Bitcoin and then give them money and then they would transfer it to you, but you'd have to make a wallet first, and it's fairly easy to do now. For instance, you can buy Bitcoin at Robinhood, which if you sign up at the link below, they'll give you a free stock. And if you want to get some Bitcoin to kind of hedge your bets against potential inflation or anything else that might happen in the future, with the economic recovery, then you can just sell the stock that Robinhood gives you and then put it into Bitcoin. Some other places you can purchase Bitcoin with relative ease are Cash App, I'll link that below, and Coinbase. Now, Coinbase is one of the most popular platforms and exchanges to trade Bitcoin with other currencies at this time, and I'll link that below as well. There are also some really big name companies that are working with it. PayPal is now allowing some users to buy, sell, and trade Bitcoin, and Cash App, which is a subsidiary of Square, is allowing people to directly buy Bitcoin, store it, and to send it to other wallets. So the last thing I want to discuss, which I may have talked about a bit and you might have heard here or there, is wallets. What is a wallet? Other than the normal thing you use to store your money, a wallet, when we talk about cryptocurrencies, is basically just that, somewhere to store your money. In the case of Bitcoin, a wallet is a uniquely identified address which you can send Bitcoin to, and it'll then hold the Bitcoin. There are many wallets on the market now. If you're interested in learning more, MetaMask is one of the more popular ones. I will link some other popular ones in the description below. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video informative, please consider subscribing, hit the notification and bell button so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. Smash that like button for the algorithm. Leave a comment of what you found informative and what you'd like me to make videos on in the future. And I'll see you next time.